This is a German anti-aircraft weapon that actually shot down American planes during World War II. We're at the Palm Springs Air Museum, where they have dozens of vintage warbirds from that era, lovingly restored and described by people who actually flew them. This Palm Springs Air Museum is a really loving place to remember the greatest generation. Welcome to Day Tripping. Come on inside and let's look around. One of the most popular exhibits here at the Palm Springs Air Museum is the B-17 Flying Fortress of World War II. It's lovingly restored, still flies, and men who actually flew aboard planes like this take you on tours. Let's go inside now as Darwin goes aboard.
Okay, Pat, I think we're about ready to take off. Everything checks off okay, so we're going to fly this baby. I'm only kidding. They told me not to touch anything in here. But it is a real pleasure to be sitting in the captain's chair of a B-17. We're going to take you on a little tour and talk to a couple of the guys who actually flew in this plane.
I started flying as a ball turret gunner in combat at age 18 in December of 1944. I was fortunate in that by that time the Americans had air bases on the continent, so we had fighter escorts to most of our targets. And we took a hit just after bombs away. We were around 26,000 feet, and all four of the engines quit running. And we went into a very steep glide, and being in the ball turret, I could not wear a parachute. I would have to come up into the airplane and put my parachute on and go out to the waist door. And I was surprised how fast I could get out of that turret.
The B-17 Flying Fortress was built by Douglas and Lockheed Vega, as well as the Boeing plant in Seattle, Washington. There were 12,677 of the planes built. The planes were able to hold a crew of 10, believe it or not, in these cramped quarters. The B-17 was able to also operate at an altitude of 35,000 feet, and due to the chin turret below the nose, which housed two machine guns, provided better defense against head-on attacks being launched by the Luftwaffe pilots in their attempts to reduce the numbers of fortresses striking daily as strategic targets deep in German territory.
The B-17 is a very stable airplane flying by itself. When you're flying in formation, there's no booster equipment on the controls, and it's hard physical work. Keeping a tight formation. It's hard physical work, so the pilot and co-pilot trade off at the controls every 15-20 minutes.
And there we were all alone in the middle of Germany. We were fortunate that we were able to call for a fighter escort, and we had two P-51s that picked us up and took us all the way to the channel. And if I ever find out anybody that was in that P-51, I'd like to give them a hug, because we sure appreciated him going with us all the way to the channel.